Okay, so while I was waiting for this to dry, what I did is put a plastic bag over the jar, twisted it on the side, and then that way kept my glue ready for me to use. And it's pretty, you know, not completely dry obviously, but it's doing pretty good. Enough so that I can turn it over and start adding the glue to the other side. I'm really enjoying this project. This is something really different, and I'm always looking for different and new things to show you guys so that I can help you unlock your creativity. So I hope you're really enjoying this. Thank you, Joy, for letting me know how much you're enjoying this series, and I hope you're following along and trying some of these techniques in your binder, and that you'll make a beautiful journal out of it as well. I cleaned my brush also, so I didn't just leave it there so that it could get all icky. Why I'm holding the whole stack. I need to be able to work with both hands. So let me lay that down. I'll need to come in and cut more fabric in a minute. I just wanted to get some of these layers going. I like to use my pinking shears when I'm cutting pieces like this. Have the fan going in the room. I think it's drying my glue out. I think I better turn it off. This is feed sack, vintage feed sack material. And then these are just very, very thin cotton fabrics I purchased off of Amazon. So if you want really thin, cheap fabric, then Amazon is your place. But for the really nice, thicker fabrics, Annie's Craft, oh, I love their fabrics. And I know there's several others. I can't think of the names of it right off the top of my head because I haven't purchased there, but several friends have told me that they purchased there, and I'll have to find out the name of it. It's a place that, but they have really good fabrics as well. Good prices. You know, the nicer, higher end, higher quality fabrics. You know, Joann's is nice. You know, I mean, it's good. I used to get my daughter's Mary Inglebright fabric there and made her outfits, but quilt stores that's another good place. We have a nice quilt store in DeLand. Have not been there quite a while. This has a very faint pattern on top of it. So pretty. I've had this fabric for probably 20 years. Okay, so we're going to come in here now with our layer of blue water. And where it's overlapped in the middle, I'm just going to leave it, let the glue stick it into place, hold it in place. And the reason why we're using such diluted glue is so that it doesn't get real stiff. So it helps it to stay a little more pliable. So when the water dries out of the glue, then you just have your glue left, and that's what will hold it all together. Now I want to come in here with my layers of napkin. If you have any wrapping paper or pretty decorative tissue paper, that works really nice as also. So you can look through your, you know, supplies and look at, if you have any of those, pull those out. find this so enjoyable. Just, I love it. Now when it's all dry, I can come in here and put a piece of journaling paper on top if I wanted to do it as a journal page. But I think I'm going to leave it as a decorative page and then put a pocket. That just is what seems to be the most, where I'll get the enjoyment of the, you know, this beautiful fabric paper that I've made. I need to really find some napkins with words, some kind of script. Oh, that would have been so beautiful on here. If anyone has any and would like to send me some, I would love to have it. Just join my mailing list and I will give you my home address. Or if you've purchased anything from me in my Etsy shops, you already have my address, then you could mail to that address. Oh, so cute. Oh, just really adorable. You can layer napkin on top of napkin. Doesn't matter. Okay, something right there needs to have a little something. And you could also come in with some of your ink mediums, those liquid refills, whatever they call those, and paints, liquid paints, that you could also come in here and add some more interest and color if you have it, if something that was a lighter color. Don't want that there. Sticking to my glove. I'm like, why isn't it going where I want it to go? Obviously my gloves have got glue. There we go. Something a little bit right here. You can still see the fabric through the napkin, so that's what's the beauty of this. Once it dries, oh, is it going to look absolutely amazing. What an amazing thing. So now what I'm going to do, okay, I'm going to let this dry, put my fan back on, and then I have a little clothesline in my front porch for my crafting, and I'm going to take this out there and I will hang it up, and I'll hang it from the reinforced hole side. Yeah. Okay. Keep that tight. Keep that on there, just, you know, a little bit of weight. May not even really be doing anything, but to me it is. Okay. Mainly it's the plastic around there. Okay, so I'm going to take this and go clean it, and then I will hang this out on my porch to dry, and when it's all dry, I will be back with the wonders of modern technology and show you what it looks like. Okay, so I wanted to show you real quick. Here I am in my front porch, and I have it hanging, and I let it dry under the fan for about an hour, and it peeled off real easily from the plastic bag. I'm going to go around the back of it so you can see it's still all looking good. Isn't it adorable? Look at how beautiful it is. And what stability now that it gave to the page is just amazing. So I'm going to leave this hang out here for a couple hours, and then we'll be back and I'll trim it up, and then we'll make a beautiful pocket to go on the front of this and tags inside of it as well. And I'm going to use the same technique but in reverse. You'll see what I mean. Okay, wow, did this ever dry nicely. So it's been overnight and I love the way this looks and how it turned out. It is really a beautiful textured mixed media look. I just am absolutely happy with this. Now this side I did less of the napkin, so you can definitely tell the difference, and this side I did more. I love the side that I did more. So I'm going to keep using this technique and putting more and more of the napkin because I really like the way it turns out. Okay, so now what I decided would be the next step is we're going to put an acetate pocket, and then we'll put a tag inside made a little differently than what we did with the paper fabric. So it's going to be just in the reverse. So let me show you that. The first thing I'm going to do is take it to the machine and stitch it down the 3 sides. And I have a pocket cut out for both sides. So then this one will be sewn onto that side, this one will be sewn onto this side. So I can be able to see the beautiful, I didn't want to cover up any of this beautiful fabric paper that was been just absolutely gorgeous on this page. So look at what it was before this technique. Let me get the, okay, so here's what it looked like before. Just the paper with the reinforced edge, and now it's this beautiful collage fabric paper. Just adorable. And great way to use up your scraps. Okay, so let me take off the clothespins. I'm going to take this to the machine. Now I'm going to attempt to sew these at the same time. That's going to be fun. Alright, let me line this one up over here. So I definitely need to hold it with the clothespins. So I'm going to use the 2 clothespins. And I just need to get the running start because the clothespins obviously are going to mess up going into the machine. So I just want to get a running start, and then I'll be able to remove the clothespins. And I'll be right back, and then we'll make a beautiful fabric paper tag, but we're going to do it a little differently. Alright, so here's my clear pocket on this side, and then here's the clear pocket on this side. Very, very nice. I love it. Okay, so now we're going to set this aside, and we're going to make another fabric paper, but we're going to make this into a tag. So you want to decide very thin fabric. So you can see, look at how thin this is. You can see my hand through it very easily. So you want to make sure it's super, super thin cotton fabric. A vintage hanky would work good. Pillowcase, cotton pillowcase. Alright. Just cutting a piece just as a starter piece. And you notice I'm starting with fabric this time instead of the paper. So it works both ways. Now I'm looking at this. Okay, here's my pocket. I'm looking at the width and then the height of the tag. So this piece should get me to 2 pieces. Should be able to get 2 tags out of this. Alright, so we're going to do the same method with our glue water. And we're going to get on the napkins. And you want to use thin paper as well. And you don't want shiny paper that's thick like magazine paper. One side needs to at least be matte, but the other side could be shiny like wrapping paper. Okay, and so I have this napkin, so you also want some napkins. Isn't this beautiful with the butterflies? Trying to see which is the right side. This one looks to be more, yep. Okay, so this is the right side, so I'm going to turn it this way. Alright, so the first layering I want to do is starting with the papers, and the napkin is your last layer that you want to put on. So the first step, as before, is always to wet it down first with your glue water. Brush has been cleaned. Make sure you've got your plastic trash bag down on your surface, protecting the little surface. Napkins, you definitely want to have some napkins. Just completely saturate the fabric with the glue water. And it definitely takes overnight to dry. We are very humid and hot here in Florida, so I had it outside and it was not drying at all, so I brought it back in, put it in my craft room, left it here on the table, put the ceiling fan on medium, and I left it overnight, came in, and it was dry both sides. Just leave it in there. So now I'm looking for book pages, any kind of paper. Some of these I printed on matte, photo matte paper, so I can't use those. So I'm just looking for my book pages. I'm going to take just one out of the book. Make sure you have your gloves on. Make sure I'm getting to the edges. Glue water on top of that again. And now we're not going to do the back side of this like we did with the book page. So just the front side gets the fabric paper on top of the fabric, and then your glue water on top of it. Alright, let's see if I have any more scraps of thin paper. So the digital paper that I have, this is just printed on copy paper, so this works perfectly. And remember, when you tear toward you, you get the white edge. When you tear away from you, you get the darker edge. And I have a real pretty tissue paper. Let me get that. Oh, I think this one is so pretty. I love it. Look at how nice that goes with the green and the book page. Even if you have just a solid color book page, that'll work good as also. More glue water on top of all of this. We're just building layers upon layers. A little bit longer piece. Filling it in. Okay. Now I'm ready for the napkin. hopefully where I put the water is where it will tear. Okay. Look at how pretty the butterfly is already. So I can cut it right here down the middle here, and I can trim it up and make the two tags so beautiful. I'm going to try and see if I can get some of the flower. It's going to be a little tricky. Might have to just come in here and cut this. Tearing it is not going to work. Okay, now let me see. I can get this leaf and just separate it from the leaf. That would be really pretty. Okay, so now we have the butterfly. Can put it, let me see, like that. And bring the leaf in here. How do I want this one, I guess? Let's do it over here. There we go. Alright, so now this has to dry, and then I will be back and we will cut it into the beautiful tags. And again, it will be just a split second for your time. Let me hold this up here so you can see how beautiful it is. Clean my brush. Look at how nice that's looking already. So you've got your fabric underneath, the paper layers on top. So it's going to dry and it'll be a beautiful fabric paper. We're going to make tags out of it. Stay tuned.